you. I'll start off with 5 minutes. Mr. Camarada, I want you, or Mr. Clem, right, as I'm under the impression that every year about 850,000 new people are sworn as American citizens. Is that an indication to you that people can't come into this country if they wait under the current system?
Right. Obviously, the number of naturalized U.S. citizens is at a record high, both the number...
A record high.
Right.
Never higher. Way higher than 1960, the golden years, or 1950. Not even close, right?
Oh, right, yes. The U.S. legal immigration system is the most generous in the world if you look at how many people are admitted with a clear path to citizenship. So in that sense, we're extremely generous, and there are probably somewhere around 40 million foreign-born residents in the United States here legally.
Okay, that's not nobody.
No, not nobody.
President Biden and Vice President Harris have allowed this for Mr. Camarada, have allowed in 7 million illegal immigrants into the U.S. since they first took office. Does this abrupt introduction of 7 million illegals strain public services and represent a fiscal challenge?
Yes, and as I said, it's not because illegal immigrants are lazy and don't want to work, or it's not because they're all on welfare. It's that people in a modern economy like U.S., and this is true of the native-born, there's no difference, who don't have a lot of education, and that represents the vast majority of illegal immigrants, don't make much money in this economy. They don't pay that much taxes, even if they have work authorization and are on the books. There are always exceptions, and they tend to use a lot of services, and that's especially true once they have any U.S.-born children.
Okay, I'll come back to something I said when I led off here. When I was a Wisconsin legislator, the carpenter union would again and again complain to me that they felt people were coming and stealing the good union jobs from other carpenters. Is this a problem today? Are they stealing jobs from Americans?
Well, the word stealing might be
taking jobs that otherwise would go to law-abiding Americans?
Right, and by increasing the supply of workers, they certainly make employers happy, but that tends to have a downward pressure on wages, making jobs less attractive. And the real crisis in the U.S. labor market is all these people who are of working age who are not looking for work. They're not working, and they're not looking for work. And that is a six-decade increase. And it's a social disaster. If we want to solve that problem, we have to curtail illegal immigration, let wages rise, and do a bunch of other things.
Yeah, I'm usually with the successful people in my district. I like successful people. But I always wonder how I should take it when they tell me we could, if we allowed more immigrants in this country, they wouldn't have to give so many raises. Is it right what my employers are telling us, that it's a way to hold down wages if we let more people, immigrants in this country?
Yeah, and you can sometimes even find employers who say things like that. A former CEO
of
Walmart said something to that effect.
They don't like to give people 16 or 17 bucks an hour.
Or more.
They pine for the days when they could give 10 or 11,000. Thank God for Donald Trump that he was able to raise those wages. Mr. Clem, you have 27 years of border security as a Border Patrol agent and led the UMass sector as Chief Patrol Agent. Vice President Harris, the borders are focused on the so-called root causes. Is it fair to say that the catch and release policies of the Biden-Harris administration, not issues abroad in foreign countries, have been actual and main cause of the border issue? And I think I'll ask you to look at this. You look at the number of people coming across, say in the 90s or the 80s or the 70s compared to today, I don't think the world collectively is that much more dangerous. What is driving this big increase now compared to 10 or 20 years ago?
What I can tell you is that without consequences, people are going to keep coming, and that's one of the big challenges that we faced when I was chief. It's what we saw happening the latter part of my time in El Paso. When there is no room to detain somebody who has entered illegally, who has been placed in removal proceedings, and they are essentially caught and released, that is what we call a pull factor. So specifically in places like Yuma, where I was chief, we didn't have a lot of Central American and Mexican nationals coming across. We had people from all over the world, 116, 117 different countries. So the smuggling network, the trafficking network has got, tentacles all around the world. And so people were coming here knowing that once they crossed, they were likely not being detained beyond Border Patrol and be released, and could be released in the United States for several years before their initial hearing. So to me, that's a pull factor that is that's driving a lot of the people coming on our border today.
You would know the answer to this, and I mentioned it before. Are some of the women coming across that southern border sexually assaulted?
Absolutely.
A lot of them?
A lot, it's hard to quantify that, but I will tell you that most of the people that we talk to through our intel debriefs and to people that run victim assistance shelters will tell you that from day one, when they start their journey in the hands of the smuggling networks from whether it's South America, Central America, or through Mexico, they are exploited. They are sexually assaulted. Many of them are taking birth control because they expect to be some kind of assault along the way.
It's that horrible.
Yeah.
You're giving minor girls birth control because they think it's almost predictable that they're going to be sexually assaulted, right?
Yeah, that's what we hear through our debriefs. Yes, sir.
Unbelievable. Well, okay, now I'll go on to my partner in crime here, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you. And I also